at Target Field. The Twins are only home for 4 with the Seattle Mariners in this homestand tonight, the opening game of the series. And they are in the middle of a very difficult grind. Granted, they haven't played well, but they're only halfway through a stretch of 20 games in 20 days, most of them on the road. The Mariners have done quite well as of late, although they lost 3 one-run ball games in Chicago over the weekend. And it is a gorgeous night for baseball at Target Field. Dick Bremer, Roy Smalley sitting in for Bert Blyleven for the next couple of nights. The task really is tough for the Twins here tonight because Felix Hernandez might be the best pitcher in the game.
In my mind, he's the best pitcher of the game. A 2.69 ERA or something ridiculous like that over the last 4 or 5 years. But you look at his last 5 starts against Minnesota, only 2-2, but a 1.6 ERA with 38 strikeouts in 36 innings. That means he's not getting a whole lot of run support, which he never has. But when you throw a perfect game, only you need is 1 run. They figured out a way to get him some runs. And King Felix is pitching terrific this year, capped by this perfect gem that he had a couple of starts ago. He has got, as Josh Willingham said, 4+ pitches, but as we said in the opening of this show, the 4 pitches had 3 different speeds. He's got 12 or 15 pitches, Dick.
Well, he was almost perfect against the Twins when he faced them in early May. Denard Span got the only hit for the Twins against Hernandez in Seattle. Span the key along with Revere in a good ball game yesterday.
I think these two guys really feed off each other, especially Ben Revere hitting behind Denard Span and in front of Joe Mauer. I think he's very comfortable there. And you can see what a stat this is. When these two guys are both in the lineup, 5.5 runs a game. When only one of them is in the lineup, a little less than 3 runs a game. And with this Twins lineup, not a bunch of 3-run, home run hitting guys. Those two guys have to be on base, and you can see the result when they are.
On the road trip, Seattle, Oakland, and Texas, the Twins saw some really good starting pitching. It won't get any easier tonight with King Felix on the mound. Some thoughts from the dugout on facing the King tonight.
Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
Twins fans get to see their team back at home this week, facing Felix Hernandez, one of the best in the game, back at Target Field. I'm Marnie Gellner. The Twins definitely have their work cut out for them. Felix Hernandez pitched a perfect game for the Mariners 12 days ago, and he has not recorded a loss since the middle of June. And Ron Gardenhire conceded, no doubt, Hernandez is one of the very best pitchers in this game. He said he's one of the best at making adjustments within the game. I also asked Josh Willingham today, from a hitter's perspective, about the challenges facing Felix Hernandez.
Well, you sort of hope he's off a little bit. I mean, the guy's got 4+ pitches at the major league level, and you really can't pattern him. You know, he throws them anytime, and you know, what makes him really good is he locates them all. So you just kind of hope that he gives you something to hit and you're able to capitalize on it.
King Felix is 8-0 since the middle of June, and the Twins will counter with Liam Hendriks, who is looking for his first major league win tonight. It's the Twins and the Mariners coming up next.
Felix Hernandez will make his second start of the year against the Minnesota Twins in the opening game of a 4-game series and homestand. Then it's back on the road for the Twins, 3 in Kansas City and 3 in Chicago. Eric Wedge has seen his team play much better from the middle point of the season forward. Reason for optimism as they look ahead to 2013. Here's the Menards batting order. Dustin Ackley leading off. Franklin Gutierrez at batting second. Kyle Seager third. Jesus Montero hitting cleanup. Then John Jaso, Justin Smoke, Eric Thames, Trayvon Robinson, and Brendan Ryan.
He will go up against Liam Hendriks for the Minnesota Twins, looking for his first big league win, and so important for him to attack the strike zone early. He's got a good enough arm to pitch up here. He's proven he's better than AAA, but not proven he can do it up here, and he has got to be able to throw strikes when he wants to with both fastball and curveball.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Ryan Doumit in left, Span and Revere in center and right. Trevor Plouffe at third, Pedro Florimon, Jamie Carroll up the middle, Morneau at first, and Joe Mauer behind the plate. My goodness, could you ask for better weather in late August in this part of the world? 84 degrees, humidity rather low, not a cloud in the sky, and it's supposed to be this way pretty much for the entire homestand.
It is perfect baseball weather for me, at least. I think these players have to be loving this.
Hey, and before we dismiss that, I do want to discuss with you something that's occurred to me in the 2.5 years here. There's a fly to left on the first pitch. Doumit looks at Span, and Doumit makes the catch. One of the things I heard is the Twins were getting ready to move back outside. So many people at Metropolitan Stadium remembered the mosquitoes and the bugs. And we really haven't had, for one series here, we had a moth problem. The Twins took care of that. And maybe it's because it's an urban ballpark, but we really haven't had any complaints about mosquitoes, have we?
I haven't heard one. I haven't seen one. I'm looking for wood to knock on, but I mean, I think it's a trend.
There's a strike, but I mean, that stadium was notorious for having mosquitoes, right?
Yeah, and gnats and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it was a little more rural out there in Bloomington, I guess.
Gutierrez back on the active roster. He takes strike one and takes strike two. Boy, if Gutierrez were to be bitten by a mosquito here, he'd probably come down with malaria. He has had a terrible, terrible run of luck, and some of the more freakish things you've ever heard of happening to a ball player. It's happened in the last few years to Gutierrez, just off the plate 1 and 2.
It really has, and he's a good player too. The Mariners counting on him to be their everyday center fielder, and he can run down the ball, he can throw it, and he's shown signs of developing into a good hitter, and he just hasn't been able to stay on the field.
Breaking pitch hammered through the hole to left, a base hit. So Gutierrez back at first base, and that's where the last freakish thing happened to him. He was getting back to the bag after leading off at first base, and they say that he always, as he retreated to first base, would cover his exposed ear and side of his face on a pickoff throw, and the one time he didn't do it, wouldn't you know it, the throw hit him in the side of the head, gave him a concussion, and he's been on the shelf for 8 weeks. So he may not lead off at all here in the first inning. Kyle Seager will hit. Seager, befitting the number 3 hitter in the lineup, leading the team in home runs and runs batted in.
Good looking young hitter, Kyle Seager. He's still learning. Batting average hovering around 250, but like you say, 15 home runs, 73 RBIs. Not done with August yet. He's going to put up a real nice year this year and try to build on it from there. This is a good looking young left-hand hitter.
One and 0, and Seager takes ball 2. The Mariners have hit much better on the road than they have at home, and Seager in particular has flourished away from Safeco Field.
He really has. We'll see here. That's really great company he's in for road numbers, and I've also noticed that his power numbers against left-handed pitching pretty good too. Not average, still not there, and he'll learn that, but he can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Extra base hits.
Gutierrez checked at first, and he covers that right ear as he retreats to first.
I'm kind of surprised he doesn't wear a dual flap helmet.
Well, here's Morneau making sure of the catch. A couple of guys can relate to each other's issues.
You bet.
2-0 to Seager. And there goes Gutierrez. Mauer's throw into center field. Gutierrez will go to third. It'll be a stolen base. And a throw from Mauer that wasn't close to the bag.
I've noticed with Joe, that ball just got away from him. That's going to happen sometimes. We've got a good arm. Sometimes just airmail it. And I'm speaking from experience there when I say that. I've also noticed that sometimes when when Joe really feels like he's got the ability to throw somebody out, when he really knows he's got him, he doesn't make as good a throw as when he's in a real hurry, when he's trying to catch up. I first noticed that a couple of years ago on balls in the dirt when you have to throw somebody out at first. But watch, he comes out and looks very much under control there and just kind of airmailed it.
A pitch right where I think Hendricks and Mauer wanted it. It was called a ball, 3-0. Now a foul ball, 3-1. Yeah, whatever he was guilty of, he wasn't guilty of hurrying there. Looked like he was in control until he released the ball. There's a strike on the inside corner. Well, during this terrible stretch for the Twins starting pitching, one thing they've been consistently guilty of is giving up first inning runs. So now Gutierrez is at third, one out. And Hendricks hoping to get a pop-up or a strikeout of Seager. Jesus Montero on deck. And flipped foul.
Ron Coomer made a terrific point in our pregame show today. The way you have to play when you're hitting and playing against a pitcher of King Felix's Felix Hernandez caliber. Of course, there aren't too many pitchers of Felix Hernandez caliber, but you have to play crisp and tight. And I don't mean psychologically, mentally tight. I mean you have to be buttoned up, and you can't give away a lot of cheap runs because you're not going to get a whole lot yourself.
Twins bring the infield in now, and a ball driven foul down the right field line. On the first 3-2 pitch, the infield was back. On the second 3-2 pitch, the infield was in, where presumably they'll be left for the duration of this at bat. Full count, Seager. Again, Montero on deck. Foul back.
The infield in, as you point out, Dick, just a function again of who the opposing pitcher is. You can't give any cheap runs. You have to make Seager get a base hit to drive in this run. You can't allow a run to score on a ground ball to short or second.
He's a number one, and number ones are tough enough to score on when the game is tied. They're even tougher when they're pitching with a lead. So Seager having a protracted at bat with Liam Hendricks. Another 3-2. Another foul ball. Hendricks was able to rack up some strikeouts in AAA, and that's been one of the issues for him here in the big leagues. He has 25 strikeouts in 43 1/3 innings up here.
I was just going to say, having trouble putting Kyle Seager away, and that's one of his issues up here in the big leagues. He's got to be able to throw the ball in the corner every once in a while when he really needs it.
And he
that's the one right there that he misses.
Very good at AAA. Remember now, he started the year with the Major League club, was sent down, brought up, sent down again. Now he's back with the club. The Twins are having a devil of a time trying to figure out how to get him to put AAA numbers up on the board up here.
And I could almost guarantee you that with his repertoire of pitches, basically fastball that he tries to throw on either side of the plate and curveball, he was much better at throwing the ball on the corners for strikes down there than he has been so far in the stints up here at the big league club.
Bouncer to third, should be 2-1-2, and that takes care of it. Gutierrez left at third. Hendricks does a nice job getting a ground ball double play to pitch a scoreless first inning. bet you Felix Hernandez probably does not know who Liam Hendriks is.
I don't think Felix Hernandez cares. Whoever it is.
Menard's batting order for the Minnesota Twins. Denard Span leading off. Ben Revere hitting second. Joe Mauer third. Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Ryan Doman, Trevor Plouffe, Jamie Carroll, and Pedro Florimo.
And those guys have the difficult job of going up against the King Felix Hernandez. And you can see his numbers this year. 12-5 in 26 starts, 4 complete games, 2.5 ERA. He pitches a lot of innings. He strikes out a lot of guys and doesn't walk anybody. Just a consummate pitcher, and I think as good as there is in this era and maybe any era. He's just really fun. I have to say that I'm really looking forward to this game, as should Twins fans and baseball fans, because if the Twins were to beat Felix Hernandez, that's wonderful. If they don't beat him, we get a chance to see one of the best of this or any era, and that's just fun baseball.
And a first pitch strike to Denard Span. And Revere and Mauer will follow. And the Twins facing Hernandez for the second time this year. There's a chopper, a swinging bunt, if you will, but Hernandez makes the play, 1 down. Northland Ford defense for the Mariners. Trayvon Robinson made a handful of really outstanding catches in left field. Gutierrez, Gold Glove caliber center fielder. And Eric Thames in right. Across the infield, Seager, Ryan Ackley, Smoke, and John Chaso behind plate. When the Twins faced Felix Hernandez in Seattle, they had just come off being no hit by Jared Weaver. Hernandez nearly threw a perfect game. He completed 8 innings, and the Twins got him to pitch from the stretch 1 time. Denard Span started the 4th inning with a single. Later in the inning, Hernandez walked a couple of batters. The Twins had their one threat against Hernandez. He got out of that jam and then went 1-2-3, 1-2-3 rest of the way. Lifted foul and out of play.
It was one of the most dominant performances I've seen. I was out there with you doing the game, Dick, and it just didn't look like the Twins hitters had any chance. It really didn't. And we saw the no-hitter by Jared Weaver, and this one looked more dominating. More dominant.
And the dirt to Revere, 1-2. And now 2-2.
That's the slider there. As we're watching this game, we're going to see fastballs that are pretty straight at 91, 92. If he needs to go to 95 or 6, he can, but he's going to cruise around 91, 92. He'll throw that slider. He'll throw a bigger up and down curveball. There's the straight one.
A fly to center. Catchable by Gutierrez. 2 down.
And so as we're talking about the pitches that he has, the keys to the game for the Twins is look for a pitch that you want to hit. It's probably the straight fastball. And then when you get it in the zone, don't miss it, because you're just not going to get very many pitches to hit. Maybe one a time at bat if you're lucky. You can't afford to take it or foul it back. You got to hit it when you get it. When he starts getting ahead 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, he's got other weapons. He's got a great changeup. He's got a real hard sinking fastball after you've seen the straight fastball. He's just got a lot of ways to mess up hitters. I know Joe said you might want to make him throw a lot of pitches, and that's true, but you can't be taking pitches like that. That's the one you have to hit. That's a good
Robinson catches the liner. Mauer hits it hard. The defense playing Mauer well, and on 9 pitches, Hernandez has a 1-2-3 first inning.
top of the second inning at Target Field. Joe Mauer is behind the plate tonight for the Twins for the 832nd time in his career, which passes Earl Batty for first on the all-time list. I asked Joe about that today, and he said he just found out he was even getting close to that number just a few days ago. And he said, to think that I have strapped on this catching gear more than anybody else in this organization, that is a pretty cool thing to think about. He also said it's one of those things that he'll appreciate a little bit more and maybe reflect on once the season is over. The recognition, though, will come tonight after 5 innings when this game becomes official, and it will be officially a milestone game for Joe Mauer. Dick?
Well, thank you, Marnie. It will be official after 4.5 innings, I guess. And Batty, of course, the original Iron Man catcher for the Twins in 1962. I think he caught every one of the games. I don't remember him playing another position, and I might be wrong about that. There's a drive to center. Span coming in, catches a liner, and again, 1 pitch, 1 out as Jaso lines out on the first pitch. Earl Batty caught 100 or played in 148 games. I guess some of those might have been pinch hitting appearances too. But the point is, he was a pretty durable catcher for the Twins.
One of the most durable guys behind the plate in his era, and there was a little bit different attitude about catchers back then too. I mean, they played. The managers weren't concerned as much about resting them as they are now.
Strike 1 to Justin Smoak as the Twins pitch through now the bottom half of the Seattle lineup. You can see that although they have played much better over the last 6 weeks or so, they've got some question marks, some big time question marks in their lineup, and Smoak is one of them. He's 25 years old, and the Rangers were waiting for him to start hitting, and now the Mariners are waiting for him to start hitting.
Really one of the big parts, the keys for the Mariners in that Cliff Lee trade. They traded Cliff Lee to the Rangers when the Rangers were trying to close out a pennant drive and get into the World Series, which Cliff Lee helped them do. But this guy right here, they really felt like was kind of the key to that trade. He was going to be a big home run guy at first base, and just hasn't happened.
Two and two. A drive to right. Revere back with room. 2 down. And that'll bring up Eric Thames. On September 9th, the regular season begins with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, Robert Griffin III and the Redskins take on Drew Brees and the Saints. Or Michael Vick leads the Eagles against the Browns, or the Falcons take on the Chiefs, or Rams and Lions. Then in America's Game of the Week, the 49ers battle Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, or the Seahawks, Cardinals, or Panthers, Buccaneers. Coverage begins Sunday, September 9th with the built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show at noon. And that will be at 8 o'clock. No, at 11 o'clock Central Time. Up and away, 1-1.
One thing that we've seen so far, and we're only 5 outs into the game for Liam Hendriks, but he's been throwing strikes, he's been getting ahead of guys, and he's been working quickly, doing everything I think that he was doing down in AAA that he had trouble doing up here, but he's off to a good start.
2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
There's an example right there of the way Liam Hendriks has to pitch. He gets to 2-1. You got to throw a strike right here, and can you throw something with something on it and not throw it right in the middle of the plate? 92-mile fastball on the outer part out toward the corner. That was a good pitch.
And he came back and stole the inside corner with a fastball. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Liam Hendriks. bright idea before the game. Let's take the ball and make Felix Hernandez pitch from second base.
Yeah, absolutely. Give him the rosin bag. That's right. He can have the rosin bag, but make him come out there and get the ball at second and throw from there.
Big thrill for that young lady.
That's adorable.
Josh Willingham pops the first pitch foul back into the seats. Willingham, the designated hitter, facing Hernandez. Couple of hits, 10 at bats, including a home run for Willingham against King Felix. Winner of 8 straight over 13 starts. Inside 1-1. Hernandez not only threw a perfect game, he has taken to the mound almost from his rookie season forward. No hit stuff to the mound every time he's gone to the mound. And so when a pitcher like that throws a perfect game, and take nothing away from Philip Humber, but Philip Humber wasn't that type of pitcher when he threw his perfect game. There's Carl Willis, the pitching coach. When you have a guy who has no hit stuff every time he takes the mound, I would think getting that first hit is really important, just to make everybody else relax and maybe have a more determined at bat instead of panicking when you're standing in the box.
And I got to tell you, when you're out there in the field too, playing behind Felix, you're on your toes trying to make every play, because you just missed there low. You're not really sure that the King might not have no hit stuff every game. As we look at that, I think I mentioned that in our open deck, 2.69 since 2009.
Breaking ball missing, and Willingham draws a leadoff walk. Ron Coomer, you had to face some awfully tough right-handed pitchers, Clemens among them in your time. This guy's right up there, isn't he?
Well, he sure is. And you guys have been talking about a lot of things and what you have to do. And I look at this, and it's a mental game that you play against him and play with yourself. And Roy, you talked about it in the first inning about tightening up your game. And I really think your focus in the ball game and facing him, I think you made a great point of don't miss your pitch. Be prepared and understand what he's trying to do. But I really think the mental focus of the game and playing tight and understanding all the little nuances of the game have to be on for the Minnesota Twins today, because this guy can embarrass you up at the plate if you don't have your A game.
1-0 to Morneau. Fouled back.
You know, Coom, you say this guy can embarrass you, and all the guys, Marty Gellner talked with some of the guys, and before the game, they say, they don't get up for anybody else. He is even keel, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
right.
you know that's blah, blah, blah. You know when a guy has got this kind of embarrassment type of stuff. You know that when you wake up in the morning and you're getting ready to face this guy, right?
Bounce to short, should be a double play. And Morneau takes care of Willingham's walk, 2 away.
Roy, I'll tell you, when I was playing, he had a couple guys. Pedro Martinez was a guy that if you didn't have your A game, he would really embarrass you. Johnson, Clemens, as you mentioned, Dick. You can say what you want, that I get up for every game the same. And, you're facing Tim Wakefield or Roger Clemens. I don't think it's quite the same.
2 down, and here's Ryan Domit. Of course, Hernandez did a lot of post-game interviews after his perfect game, and on a number of occasions he says, I try to throw a perfect game every time I go out there, swing and a miss. I mean, that's how high he set the bar for himself.
I want you to look at this last pitch. We talked about different pitches at different speeds. Now that's about the first one of those he's thrown. The ball went down about 2.5 feet at only 81 miles an hour, and there's one that's just a tad harder and a little bit sharper. I'm telling you, he's got 12 pitches. Even though he's got 4 pitches, he's got about 12.
That looked like one of those embarrassing at bats.
Yeah,
right
this
there.
was embarrassing right here.
Welcome sight for Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire. Want to talk during the next half inning here about the Light the Night coming up September 23rd here at Target Field. It's a walk benefiting the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Marnie Gellner, Lisa Dunsing, Alicia Perkins will all be on hand. And we encourage you to donate to the Fox Sports North team. And to talk more about that, Twins president Dave St. Peter with Trayvon Robinson taking strike one on the outside corner. David, just wonderful for this ballpark that we've enjoyed here. It seems to not only host Twins baseball very well, but host a lot of these charity functions very well.
Well, it does, Dick, and we're very proud of the number of charity events that are in this park. And Light the Night is certainly one of those biggest ones. We started it 2 years ago. Rod Carew serves as the honorary chair. Of course, Rod lost his daughter to Michelle to this disease and has really stepped up and provided leadership and really a competition. They do a similar event out in Anaheim, and our goal here is for the Minnesota event to outdo the Anaheim event. We raised just shy of $600,000 a year ago with Light the Night, and Marnie and her team have been great, and Rod and others have gotten involved, and we're hoping for an even bigger event here on September 23rd here at Target Field.
One down. Brendan Ryan, the batter, he takes ball one. For our viewers who want to learn more about it, they can go to foxsportsnorth.com, get more information. But basically, what is the event? What happens during the event?
Well, it's like a lot of fundraising events. It's a walk. The difference here is we're walking around Target Field. So whether it be on the playing field or through some of the concourse areas, it's really an event built mainly on teams. Folks form a team. They come out and walk together as a family or in a corporate environment and sell, in essence, team sponsorship, so to speak. And it's a great way to get together to honor a loved one and to show support for people who might be battling these diseases.
Florimone, just barely on the outfield grass, makes the catch out number 2.
It's also a great chance to get out and maybe volunteer. And I know if you go to the Fox Sports North website, you'll find that information as well. And tremendous amount of community support, many different organizations really throughout Twins Terry get involved. And as I said, it's really grown by leaps and bounds. And I think we're hoping to approach $1 million raised here in the near future.
Forgive me, how many years have we had this event now?
Well, it's the Light the Night Walk has been going on in the Twin Cities for several years. This will be the 3rd year at Target Field, so we've had it every year the ballpark has been open.
One strike to Ackley. Hit a fly ball to left his first time up. Strike 1 and strike 2. Again, the date is September 23rd here at Target Field. The walk benefiting the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Bouncer to short. And one of the quickest half innings we have had here in quite some time. We thank Dave St. Peter for plugging the Light the Night walk on September 23rd. David, thank you.
Thank you.
Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here.
Bottom of the third coming up. Liam Hendriks pitching toe-to-toe with Felix Hernandez. We've got a scoreless game here. Plouffe leading off the third inning. First pitch lifted to left center field. Heading back toward the bullpen is Gutierrez at the wall and makes the catch. Gutierrez, as we said, giving the Mariners Gold Glove caliber defense, and he tracked that ball like he had it from his first step.
It was deceiving if you watch the center fielder go after this ball, because you thought he had it, as you say, Dick, all the way, and almost trapped that ball against the fence. That ball got in the, if you watch that ball hit his glove, it got in the heel of his glove and almost looked like he trapped it against the wall. It almost didn't even look like a catch, but he glided after it like he was going to be camped under it.
And Plouffe, who's been waiting,
at the fence, yep.
waiting for a long time for that 20th home run, almost had one there. Here's Carroll, ball one. Well, the Twins running into Hernandez for the second time, and it really hasn't made a whole lot of difference which Seattle pitcher they faced this year. The Twins have played 6 games against the Mariners, all of them at Safeco Field. They've won 1 game, and in the 6 games, not counting tonight, the 6 prior games, they've scored 11 runs.
This is an up-and-coming pitching staff that Seattle is putting together, and watch this play right here. Watch this ball get right on the end of it, the heel of his glove, and it almost looks like he trapped it. And Felix is saying, "That's my man. I just need about 1 or 2 of those a game, and I'm good."
Off of Hernandez, he recovers and throws Carroll out number 2. Florimone to the plate. You can vote for the Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234. 234. Bauer's caught 3 scoreless innings from Hendriks. Hit the ball hard once. You know, it is true, isn't it? In a no-hitter or certainly a perfect game, there's at least one play that you look back on, and that's why the other night in Arlington, Texas, when David Murphy made that sliding catch, I think everybody in the ballpark thought, my gosh, he's going to throw a no-hitter, and Trevor Plouffe broke it up in the next at bat. Strike 1.
It's very interesting watching Hernandez go through the Twins lineup this first time. It's almost like he's in cruise control right now. We've seen straight fastballs. 90, 91, 92. His top end has been 93. Hasn't really thrown the hard sinker yet. Hasn't thrown the devastating changeup. He's got a circle change. And circle refers to how a pitcher will grip the ball. But he's got a changeup he throws about 87 miles an hour that moves about 3 feet. There's another straight fastball. We haven't seen too many hard sliders. We've seen only a couple of breaking balls. We haven't seen the changeup yet. He's just kind of cruising along, locating the fastball around the plate right now.
1-2 to Florimone. Twins have gotten a walk, leadoff walk in the second to Willingham, but then a ground ball double play took care of that. Checks his swing. 2-2.
There's the hard slider right there. You see how he throws his glove out in front? That's a little distracting, and it's interesting when you watch Hernandez. 91, 92, 93 gets on the hitters looking like it's more like 96 or 97. He's got real live stuff. The ball comes out of his hand real well. Hard slider there. You know, that pitch right there when a guy's throwing hard, left-handers have a hard time laying off that pitch right there. He thought he was going to strike him out right here. This is his strikeout pitch right here. Throw it to the back foot of the left-hand hitter. Florimone able to lay off of it.
And Flair one foul on the next pitch.
But again, 93 miles an hour threw that ball right by him as if it were 97. And part of it's deception with the glove flying around and the elbows flying around. But part of it is some guys are just really sneaky fast. Yep, just threw it right by him.
On the inside corner. 3 nearly perfect innings for Felix Hernandez. A unique start for a Twin starting pitcher. Unfortunately, 3 scoreless innings, and Ron Gardenhire loving what he's seen so far. Hendricks with just 35 pitches thrown through 3. And Franklin Gutierrez, Kyle Seager, and Jesus Montero will face him in the 4th.
Very much different through 3 innings for Liam Hendricks than we've seen in his previous stints up here in the major leagues. Number one, he's thrown a preponderance of strikes, and secondly, when he's had to throw a strike, for the most part, he's made a good pitch with it. He's been able not only to throw one, but throw it in a good spot. You see first pitch strikes 9 of 11. That's so important for a guy that doesn't have overpowering stuff, because you just can't catch up. If you're behind, you can't catch up when you don't have overpowering stuff.
Two strikes to Gutierrez. Just off the plate.
There's such a fine line. We watch this pitch right here. Just missed on the perimeter of the strike zone. That pitch before, the last 2 times up in the big leagues, might have been right down the middle and hit for a double or a home run. He's low, right. Oh, that's a terrific pitch on the corner. That's pitch right there is what we have not seen.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Window Concepts of Minnesota.
When you get a guy set up, can you put him away by throwing it on the perimeter of the zone and not in the middle? And that's what he's done so far. That's terrific.
Well, Ron Coomer, so far so good for Liam Hendricks. He's not missed out over the plate much tonight.
Well, he hasn't. And you guys, Roy, you brought up the point of being able to set hitters up. And the key to me in this start so far, you know, going into the 4th inning, as opposed to when we've seen him on the road, was the first pitch. You just said it was 9 of 11 going into the inning with first pitch strikes. He was pitching around the zone early in counts, and then you have to just come in, and hitters are sitting on a pitch, and you have to throw the ball to the middle of the plate. That was the big key today. He's thrown first pitch strikes, but not only first pitch strikes. With all his pitches, he's thrown some breaking balls for strikes, he's thrown some fastballs, and he's hit his spots, and that's the big key to me today as opposed to his last start.
There's no question about it, and you know as well as I do that when a guy has stuff like Liam Hendricks and he's throwing a lot of pitches, guys just get more comfortable and more comfortable and more comfortable, and that's a bad thing for a pitcher when you got hitters up there feeling really good about themselves. But when a guy's getting ahead, like you say, when you're 0-1 all the time, or when you know that you have to be ready to pull the trigger first pitch, it's a different mindset.
1-2 to Seager. I asked Ron Gardenhire this afternoon whether he saw any signs of progress from Hendricks in his last start. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs against Oakland. And he said, well, he competed. He had a couple innings out there where things could have spun out of control, but he battled and he competed. Now, a little pop-up. Looks like it's right near the mound. Hendricks wants it. And Plouffe moves across the front slope of the mound to make the catch. 2 away. Tomorrow night, the Twins and Mariners will be holding court at Target Field. It's a Sports Authority value pack game. Purchase a ticket in the U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View seats, and you'll get a free Schweigert hot dog and a Pepsi. Line up your tickets for tomorrow's game by calling 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com.
We saw Trevor Plouffe come in and take that pop fly away from Liam Hendricks, who was calling for it. I'm going to tell you, if he had not done that, he might as well just keep right on running into the dugout and into the clubhouse. Gardy would have been some kind of if he had not come in and caught that ball.
Well, the guy's running, but for a brief time he was running up and down the slope of the mound.
You know what? You get the pitcher out of the way, and the corner guys come in and take control of that. That's what the manager wants to do. It's what they've been.
But
that's what
Roy,
they're doing forever.
Pitchers are the best athletes on the team.
There's only one guy in the ballpark that thinks that, and he's not even in the ballpark today.
2 strikes to Montero, just off the plate.
See, here it is right here, a little pop fly, and the pitcher thinks, I might as well just get that. It's right over my head, but this is the third baseman's job. You got to come in, get the pitcher out of the way, and make that catch. That's just what you have to do.
2 Hopper to Plouffe. Sets and fires. 13 pitches and another 1-2-3 inning for Liam Hendricks.
A little bit. He seems to kind of figure out what a guy's trying to do to him, and just starts making adjustments off that, sinking his fastball rather than forcing him in it or cutting it. Great breaking balls. Throws a lot of arms and elbows at you, and the ball comes out really well. He knows how to pitch, not along with just quality stuff. He knows how to pitch.
And he has handcuffed the Twins again so far here tonight, facing the minimum number of batters. He did issue a leadoff walk to Josh Willingham in the second. Now, second time through the batting order, Span, Revere, and Mauer. Might we see a bunt here?
Be pretty smart, I think.
Outside, ball 1. Ron Washington talked after the game yesterday how critical the 2 bunts for hits were in the Twins win, one by Revere and one by Span.
Well, that's part of those 2 hitters' games. There's no question about it. That's a big part of how they get on base.
Ground ball to short. Easy play for Ryan. 1 away. Subscribe to MLB.tv today at a reduced price and see the remaining Twins out-of-market games live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Home territory blackout restrictions apply.
You know, going back to manager Ron Gardenhire's comments about how Felix Hernandez can make adjustments out there on the mound, it will be interesting to see if and when he feels like he needs to do that. As I mentioned, the first 3 innings, he's just been throwing straight four-seam fastballs like that one over the plate, somewhere in the middle, somewhere in either corner, but not really showing his full repertoire. And the Twins are going to have to make him think that he needs to do something else, or he's just going to keep throwing that pitch right there. Just pumping 92-mile-an-hour fastballs over the basically the heart of the plate.
So 2 strikes to Revere.
We'll see if he even needs to make the adjustment that, or any adjustments that Gardy was talking about.
And Revere gone on 3 pitches.
Now watch this curveball right here. This is what you call a screaming yellow hammer. 2 92-mile-an-hour fastballs, and then a hard biting curveball. That's some nasty stuff there.
You can ask a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. John Bruin of Roseville wondering, what American League pitcher would you least like to face, Roy Smalley?
I think we're I don't have to wait too long on that one.
If it were Joe Mauer, it would probably be Jared Weaver, because he's done okay against Felix Hernandez, and he's done okay against Justin Verlander.
Okay, holy cow. How's a guy hit 448? Look at this. 448 against the King with 2 home runs, and the rest of the league only hitting 241. Verlander the same way, great numbers. Had a little bit more trouble with Jared Weaver. My goodness, those are impressive numbers from Joe.
Liner to center, base hit. Mauer hit a rocket to the left field corner, caught by Robinson. It's another one against Felix Hernandez. I guess that's yet another measure of how good a hitter Joe Mauer is, when you can put up really good numbers, consistently hit the ball hard against one of the best in the league.
No question about it. There's a classic Joe swing. I know Ron Coomer is loving this swing right here. Watch him drop his hands inside the line of flight of the ball. It's what you call staying inside the ball, pushing the big end of the barrel, big end of the bat back through the ball and line it to center field. That's just a really, really solid swing. When you don't know what pitch is coming, then you just stay right in the middle of the field with your hands inside the ball and drive it and hit a line drive to center field. Pretty good, don't you think, Coom?
Oh, that was outstanding. And one thing, when you're facing a guy with this kind of stuff, it almost looks like, and I've seen Joe do this a couple times with some guys that can really rush it up there, that he gets a little bit wider in his base, and it seems like his move in the back side of his move with his hands shortens a little bit. And that's what you and I both talked about since we got to the ballpark today, is about tightening things up and making sure you stay short and quick. I really think the harder and the better stuff a guy has, you see very little stride and just a great downward swing to that baseball. You can't swing any better than that.
1-1 to Willingham.
Well, we talked about not missing the pitches when you get them, Coom. You know, that you and I both said that's the key against a guy that's got this kind of stuff. And we watched Denard miss one this last time up. We saw Revere miss 2, and then get the Uncle Charlie to strike him out because he didn't hit the pitch that he should have. And Joe, you talk about tightening up. He said, "Look, if I get a ball in the middle of the plate, I'm going to figure out how to get a line drive to hit a line drive to center." Willingham gets plugged. And if you're going to get hit, you want to get hit with that curveball. That's a relatively easy way to first base. This curveball, he tried to overthrow a little bit. Ball got, and even the great ones do it, really trying to make a great pitch and overthrow it and have the ball come spinning out of your fingers and doesn't have the same bite on it.
And Willingham showing some intelligence there. You get a chance for a free base against Felix Hernandez, you stick the shoulder in, you get hit by the pitch, right?
Well, yeah, but, you know, Willingham is, I mean, he's not trying to get hit, but the right kind of approach is to keep that front shoulder in anyway, so you might as well just keep her going that direction.
Roy, do you stick your shoulder in there when he's pumping that one up there at 95, or
not
is it
so
better at
much.
79?
Only if you're Don Baylor. I saw my buddy the Groove do that on 96-mile-an-hour fastballs and spit on it and run down the first. And I mentioned you could do that on the Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie is cool, as you know. I mean, there are curveballs and then there are Uncle Charlies, and this guy's got the Uncle Charlie or the screaming yellow hammer variety, right?
He does, and that's what I talked about. He can embarrass you if you're not locked in to hit.
Yep.
You get your pitch, you better hit it.
1-1 to Morneau. 1-2. Twins trying to get something done here with 2 out in the 4th. Fastball right there. And he fights it off.
See, that's what we're talking about there when he took. I mean, all left-hand hitters tend to like that low inside fastball that Justin took for a strike. When you take that pitch and go to 1-2, now you're fighting because you've got to hit the curveball like he just threw there, a nasty pitch. He's got changeup, he's got sliders, he's got all kinds of other stuff. And I think a lot of times what happens when you have a guy with this kind of stuff on the mound, you kind of get caught in between thoughts and you start looking for everything instead of the one you want.
Foul tip. Jaso hangs on. Twins get a hit and a hit batter and leave 2 aboard in the 4th.
Minnesota State Fair. You know, every year at the fair there are dozens of new delicacies, food items. And this year we thought we would try the beef tongue taco. Not bad. You know, it's the first time I've been able to bite my tongue and feel good about it. It's good.
Very nice, Tommy. And, of course, if it catches on over at the State Fair, it might find its way over here to the ballpark because we've got a lot of State Fair food here at Target Field. I don't know about beef tongue tacos, though, do you?
Not too sure about it yet.
Sharply hit up the middle. Jaso has a base hit to start the Mariner 5th inning. So Jaso hit a liner to Denard Span in his first at bat, and he singles sharply here. Now that breaks a string of 10 straight batters retired by Liam Hendricks. And now Justin Smoak. Mariners losing 3 games to the White Sox in curious fashion, all of them by 1 run. Rain ended the game last night, or yesterday. I guess it was last night in the 7th inning. Down and away, ball 1. White Sox won the first game of the series in Chicago Friday night in walk-off fashion when Thames and Saunders collided in the gap in right center field. The ball dropped free and a couple of runs scored in the 9th inning. And a strike. 1-1. Mariners put together an 8-game winning streak, and they fell on the verge of getting to, and then they hoped to pass the 500 mark, but now they find themselves 6 games below 500. Two and 1. How would you like to be the Houston Astros? You're having an absolutely miserable year. 40 wins, 88 losses. Next year you're moving not to the American League, well, certainly generally, but specifically the American League West, and you get to take on the Rangers, A's, Angels, and Mariners and their pitching staffs. Foul back.
When it rains, it pours, I guess, and they've got some rebuilding to do, and it's not going to happen in an easy division, that's for sure.
2-2 to Smoke. And a fly ball to right his first time up. Got the inside corner. So Hendricks picking up a strikeout here or there, and in this case a key strikeout as he gets smoked for the first out.
And burns him on the inside corner. Even though Joe was moving outside to the outside part, he still was able to throw it over the plate, and he was on either corner to Smoke with every pitch that time up. Not one pitch in the middle of the plate. That's good pitching after a leadoff single.
Here's Thames. Pulled foul. Now, when you came to the big leagues for the very first time, were you there to stay? Or did you go back and forth like Hendricks has done?
I did not go back and forth. I went back down once. I came up the first part of May, and then they sent me back down AAA in August. I came with the Texas Rangers playing shortstop. Then they decided that maybe they wanted to make me a second baseman.
Okay.
So I went down to play second base for a month and came back up in September playing second. And
popped up. Mauer might have a play by his dugout. Nope.
Then I came back up, played second in September, and then the following year was the starting second baseman before getting traded up here. That was in 1976. I got traded up here along with Mike Cubbage and Bill Singer for our buddy Bert and the late Danny Thompson. And that got me back to shortstop, which really was the position that I needed to play in the big leagues if I were going to be successful.
Rare is the player or pitcher who gets called up and is able to stay in the major leagues without being sent back at least once. 2 strikes. So what Hendricks has experienced this year hasn't been that uncommon, going back and forth, but what is remarkable is the wild swings in terms of earned run average.
Well, the disparity of performance.
Yeah,
exactly. Between the two leagues, the two levels, there's no question. It's been a wide disparity to say the least.
1-2, and Thames strikes out, 2 gone. That'll bring up Trayvon Robinson. AT&T trivia. Joe Mauer's catching his 832nd career game tonight. Who's the active career leader in games caught? Well, a lot of veteran catchers have retired in the last year or two. Varitek, Posada.
Kendall's
Kendall retired. Yeah. Outside a ball.
Don't tell me it's AJ.
That's a pretty good guess. Thinking of a player, and I'm trying to put the name together. Ramon Hernandez. Just off the plate, 2-0. Francisco Liriano, A.J. Pierzynski, and the White Sox are in Baltimore. They're tied at 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Two obviously contending teams. Oakland's leading Cleveland 3-0. Just outside, 3-0. Brett Anderson has shut down the Twins in Oakland, doing the same to the Indians at Progressive Field. Boston beat Kansas City 5-1 this afternoon. And the fans at Fenway Park probably more familiar with some of the Royal players than they are their own Red Sox players. A 4-pitch walk, second walk issued by Liam Hendriks, and that'll bring the number 9 batter up. Brendan Ryan joined Fox Sports North at the Minnesota State Fair now through Labor Day at 1311 Underwood Street across from the Ballpark Cafe. Anthony LaPanta and Robbie Ince-Mikowski will be there tomorrow from noon to 1. And don't miss the Twins game on the big screen TVs. Hello again to all the folks out at the fair watching tonight. Log on to foxsports.com. Click on the event banner for complete details. So now the Mariners threatening, 2 on and 2 out. And Brendan Ryan at the plate. He popped to short his first time up. Popped up again, this time toward Morneau or Carroll. It's Morneau with the catch. 15 pitches for Liam Hendriks. He's pitched 5 shutout innings on a total of 63 pitches.
Lottery winner circle. We have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets courtesy of the Minnesota State Lottery for Nancy. She's here tonight with her son Dalton, and they are from near Atlanta. In the sign here, this G is a Georgia Bulldog G, not a Green Bay Packers G. That is to be noted.
Absolutely.
And you told me you're back here after 30 years visiting some of your family in Minnetonka. You've done a lot of Minnesota things in your trip.
Absolutely. Yes, I went to the State Fair on Friday and the Mall of America on Saturday. I went and looked at the old house on Sunday.
And a Twins game on Monday.
Twins game on Monday to wrap up the weekend.
That's a pretty good week. You head home tomorrow.
It's been great. It's been wonderful.
Well, let's hope we can send you home with a win here,
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Dick and Roy, Twins fans coming from Atlanta tonight.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the spectacular weather we're going to have for baseball fans and State Fair fans this week. Up and away, 1-1 to Domadou. We followed by Plouffe and Carroll. Couple of well-hit balls, including Mauer's base hit in the fourth. But Hernandez has pitched shutout ball again against the Twins. Now inside 2-1. By innings end, the pitch totals and splits, balls and strikes between the two starting pitchers might be identical. Dropping a breaking pitch over, 2-2. That was Hernandez's 53rd pitch. Hendricks has thrown 63 through the fifth inning. Bounce to the right side, right into the shift. Waist high hop for Ackley, 1 away. It was just announced today that fans, in conjunction with the retirement of Tom Kelly's number 10, the Twins will be selling a complete set of bobbleheads featuring every manager in Twins history. The only place to get this limited edition set of bobbleheads is at twinsbaseball.com. Friday, September 7th at 9 a.m. Only 1,000 sets will be sold at $210 per set. And with proceeds benefiting the Twins Community Fund. For more information, visit twinsbaseball.com. Now, I don't know if you want the whole set, but I'm guessing there'll be one bobblehead in particular you'd like to get a hold of.
Very much like to have my uncle Gene Mauch's bobblehead, although I admire every single manager that Twins have ever had. They've had some good ones.
Dribbler, barehanded by Hernandez, no play. And he kind of disgusted with himself, realizing now that he didn't have a play, and maybe Kyle Seager would have.
I'm not sure he's just disgusted. It looked like he might have hurt himself just a little bit. No, I think he's okay, but it looked to me like he stretched something in his lower body there.
So an infield hit for Plouffe, who hit one 400 feet his first time up, had it caught by Gutierrez as it crashed into the fence. And now a little 50-footer that goes for a hit. And here's Jamie Carroll.
Nothing to make a good pitcher more mad than that little dribbler for a base hit. That drives him absolutely crazy.
Slicing it, nice pickup by Smoke. And they get one but not two, with Hernandez a little late and getting to the bag. A rocket, and Smoke picked it out on the first hop and got a force at second.
There's a one-hop bullet, real nice soft hands there, makes a pick, and you see Felix hesitating there. His first reaction was not to get over the first base, which, if Bert Blyleven were here, would say something about pitchers fielding practice in spring training, not staying with them long enough here. This is when Trevor Plouffe hit just before. I think that there's some little something he did somewhere down around his ankle or calf or something. I don't think he's exactly right. And that might be why he wasn't real anxious to be thinking about running over the first hard on that potential double play that they would have had he been there in time.
6 steals and 9 tries for Carroll. And there he goes.
Good jump.
And the pitch grounded behind the shortstop and under his glove. Ryan into center field. 2 outs. The Twins sent Carroll, and Florimon hit behind the shortstop beautifully.
Nice little run and hit play here. Jamie Carroll gets a really good jump. I think he had second base stolen if Florimon takes it, but he doesn't. He hits the ball through the vacated shortstop hole. The shortstop, Brendan Ryan, going over the cover on the steal, and Florimon very nicely bouncing it right where he had been.
Span 0 for 2. Come back here to the mound and a ground ball to short. Breaking ball over for strike one.
We've been talking about how you need to tighten up your game. You need to do all the little things correctly to beat a guy of Felix Hernandez caliber. And you have to also take advantage of opportunities when they come up. A little infield base hit, a pitcher doesn't cover first on what would have been a double play that helped get him out of the inning. Now kind of an excuse me first to third.
Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
And you got a chance to take the lead here. Now that you got to pay it off by trying to figure out some way to get that guy in from third base. Not easy duty. We saw Felix really punish Justin Morneau in last inning when he was up with runners on first and second, and he really punished him with some good stuff. Threw him some stuff on the outside corner, threw him a really nasty curveball, and then blew him away up and in on a very tough pitch, almost impossible to hit. He gets tougher, as Ron Gardenhire says. He makes adjustments, and he's going to be bearing down here on Denard.
See what Span can get done on 0-2.
That sign came from the dugout from manager Eric Wedge. He wanted to take a look and see if Florimon was doing anything at all, had any idea about taking off with 0-2. A lot of times what will happen, 0-2 and 2 out, a manager will try to steal a run by double stealing first and third, figuring that he's a little overmatched against Hernandez 0-2 at the plate.
Got him. And Hernandez with a little pirouette on the mound. Span frozen. The Twins leave 2 more on in the 5th. Scoreless going to the 6th.
At the Minnesota State Fair today, we're visiting the booth of the Minnesota Timberwolves, where you can find your Ricky Rubio t-shirts for young girls and ladies as well, all sorts of merchandise available, and tickets as low as $3 a game for the upcoming season. All sorts of excitement, all sorts of things ahead for the Timberwolves and their booth here at the State Fair through Labor Day. Hope to see you here.
Look at that. I suggested as much. We've got 5 innings complete and 63 pitches per pitcher through 5 shutout innings.
You might have suspected that from the guy on the left. Getting it from the guy on the right is one heck of a performance. It really is. Liam Hendriks has pitched very, very well.
Ackley, Gutierrez, and Seager to face Hendriks here in the 6th inning. Breaking ball or a changeup, something up and away, just missed, ball 1. Ackley bringing a 7-game hitting streak into the game here tonight. He's 0 for 2. Pulled on the ground to Carroll. 1 down. David Ortiz waiting and waiting and waiting to get back to the active roster and getting a chance to play, and it lasted 1 game. Put back on the disabled list on our Sanford Health injury report. Good year for Ortiz, but generally when you go back on the disabled list with the same injury you had the first time you were there, that's going to shut you down for a while.
Yep, that's not good.
And Ortiz a free agent after this year. One of the reasons he wanted to play was to prove he's healthy going into the market. The free agent market this offseason. 1 strike to Franklin Gutierrez. Oh. And Gutierrez, who's had so many illnesses and injuries and weird things happen to him. And Gutierrez will go to first. And Eric Wedge and the trainer behind him. He has to be wondering what on earth is going to happen next. Right across the hands. He's had a stomach issue that pretty much ruined all of last year. He's had plantar fasciitis, pulled pectoral muscle at the start of this year, then the concussion that he just was reactivated from today, and now he gets raked across the knuckles.
And that's why you see him so frustrated right there. It's not so much anger at Liam Hendriks. Liam Hendriks wasn't trying to hit him, certainly, and wasn't even really trying to brush him back. I think he's been pitching very, very well on the corners of the plate. Tried to come in on the inside corner. The ball just ran in a little bit.
Gutierrez stole second after his first inning single and then went to third on Mauer's throwing error. Double play ball. Florimon flips to Carroll. Nicely double play. Florimon staying with it, even though second base umpire Doug Eddings was screening him. Felix Hernandez with a variety of breaking pitches.
We've been talking about how he throws the same pitch in different ways. Here's an 81-mile-an-hour big curveball, kind of 12-6. He throws a little bit harder. That goes a little bit more on an angle, and he can backdoor it as well. Different speeds, different angles, with basically the same pitch. It's so tough for a hitter when you recognize the pitch coming out of his hand, but the speed's a little bit different and the tilt on the trajectory just a little bit different.
Up and away to Ben Revere, starting the 6th inning. Revere with a fly to center and a strikeout. Two and oh. The Twins have forced Hernandez to pitch from the stretch in 3 of the 5 innings. Again in Seattle in early May. In his 8 shutout innings, he pitched from the stretch only once. Span singled. Hernandez walked a couple of guys, pitched out of the jam, and that was it. And on a 2-0 pitch, Revere with a routine 2-hopper to Ackley, 1 down.
And there's the perfect example of what we're talking about. When you get your pitch, you can't miss it. Now, he didn't miss that, obviously, but he didn't get it. He didn't hit it hard. He's 2-0. He knows the fastball's coming. He gets a straight fastball and hits over the top of it. Now, Ben Revere normally takes that ball the other way and slaps the center or the left center. You can't go away from your program and miss what you do best against a guy that's this good. He got a chance to get the count in his favor. He knew what was happening. And Joe's talking to him right there. See, he was talking about how the ball was sinking away. He was kind of gesturing with his right arm away from him. Said, you know, when he gets you 2-0, he's not going to throw you just a cookie straight fastball down the middle. He's going to make it move a little bit. You have to know that that's coming.
1-0 to Mauer. 2-0. Not many have hit the ball hard against Hernandez tonight. Mauer's done it twice. He hit a line drive to the left field corner. Robinson made the catch there. And then Mauer got the first Twins hit by lining a line drive in front of Gutierrez with 2 out in the 4th. Foul and out of play, 2-1. And Hernandez has won 8 straight, including his perfect game over his last 13 starts. The last team to beat him, of all people, the San Diego Padres in Seattle. They scored 5 earned runs against him in 6 innings back in June. 3-1 with Willingham on deck. And the Padre lineup is one of the worst in the National League, but they put 5 up against King Felix, and he hasn't lost since.
It really made him mad.
3-1. And Anthony's to fill the count.
You know, that ball right there, 93, that ball, most guys, you throw it right there, that ball will sink below the strike zone. Joe takes that because it's going to sink, and the ball just keeps riding in there. That's just his stuff.
Tapper to the right side. And out number 2. AT&T trivia, just for novelty's sake, I'm going to say Ramon Hernandez.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue. I thought it might be AJ. But...
So Pierzynski, the answer to our trivia question tonight. Here's Willingham. He's reached both times, once with a walk, once by being hit by a curveball. One strike.
There was a little different breaking ball there. That was the slider, a little harder. He saw it at 85. A little flatter trajectory.
Of the pitchers you faced in your American League career, who would you compare Hernandez to?
Yeah.
Pop straight up in the air. Jaso coming back, and that almost peeled back and came back onto the field. 2 strikes.
You know, I don't know that there was a pitcher like Felix Hernandez. You know, I hit against a lot of power pitchers. I hit against a lot of guys that were like Felix Hernandez but didn't have the power stuff that he has. Catfish Hunter is a lot like Felix Hernandez with about 5 miles an hour less fastball.
Right.
And boy, I don't know if that there was anybody.
Lifted to right. And Thames will wait to make the catch. A 12 pitch, 1, 2, 3, 6. Scoreless now to the 7th. Show you any run scoring, so we'll show you the pitchers instead.
Well, that's been the story. First of all, the king, Felix Hernandez, with a variety of different pitches at different speeds, tying up the Twins. And on the other side, Twins pitcher Liam Hendriks matching him inning for inning, basically throwing fastballs on both sides of the plate, mixing a breaking ball every once in a while, but just have real good command of his fastball tonight. And that's been the story of the game.
And so here's Liam Hendriks, who still is looking for his first major league win. He's pitching the game of his major league career here, and he's got a shutout through 6, but he doesn't have a lead because of who he's pitching against. Jesus Montero will lead off the 7th. Fly ball right field, another first ball, first pitch. Out with Revere making the catch, 1 down. Hendriks 0-8 in the big leagues. And so he'd like to end that here tonight, but his teammates are having as much trouble with Felix Hernandez as the Seattle hitters are having with Liam Hendriks.
Well, I will tell you that this is the kind of game that is not unfamiliar to Felix Hernandez. He pitches in these kinds of games all the time. It's the way you win Cy Young Awards when you've won 12 ball games in the season.
And Hendriks takes a little bit off, gets a little dribbler to second, 2 down here in the 7th. Twins and the Prairie Island Indian community are proud to bring you Celebrate Diversity Day 2012 when the Twins play Seattle. On Wednesday, the first 5,000 fans will receive a Celebrate Diversity coffee mug, and if you get there a few minutes early, you can catch an entertaining pregame ceremony featuring the music and dancing of numerous cultures. Good seats available. Go to twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Here's Justin Smoke. Down low, ball 1. Smoke with a fly to right, and he was called out on strikes his last time up. Strike, 1-1. Hendriks with 16 pitches thrown. He gave up a base hit and a walk. There were runners at first and third, 1 out, and he got a huge and maybe a calming double play ball in the first inning.
I think that's a good point, Dick. I think that was very calming for the young man.
And Hendriks
trips or slips as he's getting ready to push off the rubber. Two and one. Belt high strike with the fastball. 2-2. Fox Tracks brought to you by Carrier.
Another difference in Liam Hendriks today, as opposed to his other appearances in the big leagues, he doesn't get that pitch from an umpire the way he was pitching before. But since he's been around the plate the whole game today, umpires, I got to tell you, Joe Mauer never ceases to amaze me. That foul ball, I don't know if anybody noticed that. A foul ball went back to the screen and hit the wall, came bouncing back, and without looking, Joe just put his backhanded the ball behind it without seeing. The ball went right in his glove, of course.
Ooh. Hendriks just missed the inside corner. 3-2.
But just to finish the thought, well, watch this. I mean, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but watch this ball go back, hit the wall. Joe just, okay, here, let me just grab it for you. You know, some guys are just good at stuff. And when it comes to sports stuff, that guy right there is just really, really good. Things just, as a metaphor for him and sports stuff, the ball goes in his glove.
3-2 to Smoke. And came inside with a fastball, and Smoke got a piece of it. A long at bat here, but if Hendriks can get Smoke, he might complete 7 shutout innings on fewer than 80 pitches. Three and two again. Got him. 7 outstanding innings for Liam Hendriks.
Just throw different kinds of curveballs. He does it with his fastball too. Watch when he really needs a strikeout against Justin Morneau. 89 on the outside corner, now 94 down and in, and then finish him off 93 up under his hands. Just punished Justin with 3 terrific and all different fastballs. And I said it in the opening of the show, and we've been talking about it. He's got 2 or 3 pitches per the 4 pitches that he has.
Deep to right center field. Off the base of the fence. Gutierrez couldn't catch it. Morneau wants a triple. He's in there. A leadoff triple in the 7th. for Justin Morneau.
And good hitting by Justin Morneau. We just showed you the 3 fastballs last time. He went up looking for it this time. And as we said, he got it and didn't miss it. Exactly how you have to hit this guy. Justin chugs into third base with a leadoff triple. But he got his pitch that he's been looking for since he got struck out with it last time. And he didn't miss it. Good for him.
Morneau's second triple of the year. Here's Domet. Pulled to first. Morneau can't go anywhere. Mariners didn't have to bring the infield in all the way in because of Morneau at third. Watch the reaction of Hernandez.
He thought it was gone, actually. When the ball left the bat, he thought he'd given up a home run because he threw the ball right. Something he hasn't been doing. Threw a fastball right in the middle of the plate to a real good hitter.
And now Plouffe, who drove one to the left center field gap, leading off the third. Then hit a little number for an infield hit. And now the Mariners are bringing the infield in a little bit more, a few more steps with 1 out. Chopped foul. So Domet retired on 1 pitch. And Hernandez going to reach back and try to keep this a scoreless game.
Yeah, frustration here to go around. Hernandez frustrated with a pitch to Morneau. Ryan Domet frustrated with his at bat. Swing at the first pitch, breaking ball. Probably not the pitch he wanted to hit to try to drive the run in.
Dug out by Jaso, 1-1.
Good take there by Trevor Plouffe. A lot of times you'll be conscious of how hard a guy's throwing. A guy like Hernandez running the fastball in on in. You'll see that pitch. Commit yourself early like it's a fastball. It turns out to be a slider. That's why you see a lot of guys way out in front of that pitch. But Trevor had a pretty good look at it.
1-1 to Plouffe. Sharply hit. Fumbled by the second baseman Ackley. He recovers. Out number 2. So Hernandez keeping the ball in the infield after the triple by Morneau.
And that's a pretty good at bat by Trevor Plouffe, really. Hit the ball sharply, and he took a slider back through the middle the other way. That's actually a good swing. He just hit it right at the second baseman. That's tough luck. He gets a guy like this. That's a good at bat. That's a good at bat by Trevor. He did the right thing. He went the other way, went back through the middle with that slider, and just hit it right at somebody.
And now Carroll with 2 out. Tapper to short. Ryan fields and throws, and Hernandez strands Morneau at third, and we are scoreless heading to the 8th inning. All of that threat and the great pitching by Hernandez on 8 pitches. On Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Hurry in for big savings during Toyota's nationwide clearance event going on now. Twins with a great chance in the bottom of the 7th. You think Justin Morneau 90 feet away, but against Felix Hernandez, it was like Morneau was at first base, not third base.
Well, we've seen it all during the game. When he needed to reach back and get outs that he really, really wanted, he was able to do it. And Ryan Doumit, Trevor Plouffe, and then Jamie Carroll not able to get Justin Morneau in from third. But again, we have to go back to manager Ron Gardenhire's comments before the game about Felix Hernandez and how he makes adjustments. He gave up the triple on a fastball. He's been throwing mostly fastballs all game. And then it was curveball to Doumit, sliders to Plouffe, and breaking ball.
Deep to left, Doumit back, and it's gone! A home run! Eric Thames to the opposite field, and the Mariners break through in the 8th. Thames had struck out looking in the 2nd, swinging in the 5th, and he goes oppo in the 8th.
Good swing, actually, on a fine pitch. The ball's up a little bit, but you can't really fault Liam Hendriks. The ball's on the outside corner. The man just hit it, went with it, and hit it a long way.
Here's Robinson, bunting in the air. Mauer coming back to his knees, makes the catch. A phenomenal play by Joe Mauer. You suggested Mauer was a great athlete an inning or so ago. How many catchers can even get back there in time to make an attempt?
Yeah, watch this play right here. That's so good on so many levels. First, on a bunt, it's hard for a catcher to find the ball. He finds it. He gets back. He knows where the wall is. He takes one quick peek at the wall, knows when to slide, and stays with the concentration before his knees hit the wall. That's just a phenomenal play.
Here's Ryan, and there's strike one. Oakland beat Cleveland 3-0. Up high, 1-1. Two and one. Well, Hendriks behind now 1-0, but again he should be comforted in the fact that he threw a pretty good pitch. Just didn't end up with a very good result to Thames.
Sometimes you got to tip your hat to big league players, hitters to the pitcher and pitchers to a hitter, and that I think you just have to tip your hat to Thames. He hit a pretty good pitch.
3-1. And a pop up to left field. Doumit comes in. And that's out number 2. And Francisco Liriano in Baltimore has to tip his cap to a former teammate, Lou Ford, as Ford goes oppo.
How about Louis Ford?
What a great story.
It is a great story.
Nevertheless, the White Sox have a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 8th in Baltimore. First pitch strike to Dustin Ackley. Hendriks has done all of this on 87 pitches. He's gotten 23 outs. Foul ball. Plouffe tracking it. Florimone. And Hendriks, after the home run, gets the next 3 batters. The Mariners have a 1-0 lead.
Bottom of the 8th inning, the Twins are hoping to scratch at least one run across against the Mariners. We hope you'll join us after the game for Twins Live presented by CenturyLink when we look at this fantastic pitching matchup. Felix Hernandez and Liam Hendriks have combined to allow just 7 hits tonight. We'll also hear from the manager, Ron Gardenhire, and get his thoughts about those pitchers and the performances of the teams. We'll be on the field for our instructional. Tonight we're looking at the 5-4-3 double play. The Twins turned an important one earlier tonight. Ron Coomer and Anthony LaPanta will be on the field with some high school coaches. We bring it to you every night at Target Field, putting our experts to work to help explain the game a little better. Tonight they'll focus on the 5-4-3 double play. Roy, I'm sure you'll be a part of that as well.
I'm going to be the 4 part. Marty, of that 5-4-3. We'll let Kuhn play the third, like he did so well so many games.
1-1 to Florimone, starting out, leading off the Twins' 8th inning, showing bunt and taking ball 2. Florimone, Span, and Revere. The Twins have seen the Mariners take the lead with some power. We'll see if these 3 guys can get the run back with some speed. Fouled back, 2-2 from the left side. And looking at Florimone, you can see a little bit of Rod Carew or Tony Fernandez, that holding the bat so lightly in their hand and just kind of flicking it at the baseball. And fouled back to the screen. 2-2.
Switch hitting shortstop, so got a soft spot in my heart already for this young man. Looks like right now to me a little bit better hitter right-handed than left-handed. He does some things mechanically right-handed much better than left. He's got little ways to go, but it looks like he has an awful lot of talent, and I think he's got a chance to hit. He certainly can pick at a shortstop, it looks to me like. So if he can hit some, the Twins have got something here.
3-2, trying to get aboard to start the bottom of the 8th. Pull to the right side. Smoke to the bag. Florimone retired, 1 away. Time for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch. You said Felix Hernandez is 93 or 94. Looks like 97. Sometimes there was a time when he threw 97. But he doesn't do that anymore.
Nope.
He's become a better pitcher because of it.
Well, he doesn't need to do that. When you can throw from 91 to 94 and have the ball be sneaky, getting up on hitters more quickly than it looks like, and throw all that other stuff that he throws, and have the fastball move in different ways. As Gardy said before the game, he just knows how to pitch, and when a guy knows how to pitch and then takes that kind of stuff out there, you can see why he's so good.
Span takes up and away ball 1. Span 0 for 3. Called out on strikes in the 5th when he came up with runners at first and third and 2 down. Twins have had some threats against Hernandez. No better threat than the 7th inning when Morneau started with a triple and never got moved from third base. 1-1. One and one. Chop to second. Hackley has it. Span retired, out number 2. And before Revere gets to the plate, how has this year's rookie draft class fared for the Vikings so far? Read Brian Hall's latest breakdown and what to expect from the rookies this season at foxsportsnorth.com. 2 away, and Ben Revere, who's 0 for 3. Fastball, strike 1. You know what Hernandez has transformed himself into is something along the lines of what Justin Verlander has transformed himself into. Here's a bouncer to short, not necessarily throwing as hard as he's physically capable of doing all the time. And Hernandez handles his 1-0 lead in 1-2-3 fashion in the 8th. Farmers Insurance report card. We thought at least on one side there would be a well-pitched ball game, and instead what we've been treated to here tonight is both starting pitchers doing a great job.
Well, we would have expected that from Felix Hernandez. Liam Hendriks has been just terrific. Matched him inning for inning. Given one solo home run on really a pretty good pitch.
Franklin Gutierrez will lead off the 9th. And Gutierrez got hit by a pitch his last time up, and Hendriks throws one head high on the first pitch here in the 9th. Mariners have lost 23 one-run games this year. It's an incredibly high number.
It really, really is. And one thing that that will show is that their pitching staff is really coming along. I mean, I think that's indicative of that. The other thing is, as we've seen a little bit tonight, the hitters really have to do a much, much better job of having quality at bats with guys in scoring position or to lead off innings. We haven't seen the best at bats that I've ever seen from the Seattle Mariner hitters tonight, and I think that's another indication of losing the one-run games.
Gutierrez walks to start the 9th. Hendriks saw it was a strike.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
There have been 2 complete games for the Twins this year, both wins. P.J. Walters and Scott Diamond. Strike on the outside corner to Kyle Seager. And Hendriks, with 92 pitches, should be given every opportunity, I would think, to complete the game, but now there is some activity in the Twins bullpen. Again, Gutierrez stole second after his single in the first inning. And Gutierrez again covering up. And first base umpire Dana DeMuth kind of amused by Gutierrez protecting himself, and why not?
Yeah, but he was watch this, he covers up with the hand that got hit earlier. I mean
And now outside, 1-1. Kyle Waldrop and Tyler Robertson warming up. 94 pitches, 58 strikes. There have been 3 walks and 1 hit batter. Only 3 hits, but one of them the damaging home run by Eric Thames.
As we look at what's coming up for Seattle in the lineup, you see Tyler Robertson out there, the left-hander for the Twins, warming up. He's there for John Jaso and Justin Smoke, who come up after Montero, who's on deck. So manager Ron Gardenhauer having a right-hander and a left-hander to choose which matchup he wants, if it gets that far.
Popped up near the Twins dugout. Mauer to the railing and just over the roof this time. There isn't a whole lot of foul territory here at Target Field around the plate area. And we saw last inning Mauer make a terrific play on a pop bunt behind home plate. One and two. Gutierrez again goes back. Mariners getting a leadoff home run in the 8th, now trying to do something with the leadoff walk. Outside, 2-2. Hendricks in his last start, 5 innings against Oakland through 97 pitches. That was his 97th pitch, and he's pitching in the 9th inning tonight.
He's paying a lot of attention to Gutierrez at first base. It's not a bad time for Gutierrez to think about stealing, but he just doesn't have much of a lead.
Seager waves at it, strikeout for the first out of the night.
Good pitch there, outside ball on the outside part of the plate. And again, this is indicative of the way Liam Hendriks has pitched. Seager chasing one that way outside the strike zone this time, but he's getting hitters to chase those because he's throwing enough strikes on the corners that they have to start committing themselves. And we've been talking about it. When you're throwing a lot of strikes and you're standing out of the middle of the plate, you really have a chance to win.
Here's Montero. Montero with a ground ball double play in the first. Another ground ball to Plouffe in the fourth, and a fly ball to Revere in right.
So far, Gutierrez just isn't having much trouble getting back to first base, which means he doesn't have a real big lead. I'd like to see Hendricks really concentrate on the hitter. He doesn't have a steal type lead right now. He got a really good jump though.
And Mauer's throw not in time. So he waited and he waited and he waited through the Seager at bat. And on the first pitch of the Montero at bat, he took off.
Yeah, I think they were, and watch how good a jump this is. He just anticipated no throw over there that time, and he kind of set Liam Hendriks up. He had a short lead. It was very easy to get back to first base. It didn't really look like he was going anywhere, and then he really anticipated kind of a Torrey Hunter takeoff early, and he guessed right.
Foul. 2 strikes to Montero. they've kind of relaxed the rules on where coaches should be. Look where Jeff Datz, the third base coach, is. He's almost halfway to home plate. There's a drive to center, and Span over a few steps. Makes the catch. Gutierrez is going. Here's the throw from Span. What a throw! Bernard Span throws out Gutierrez at third to end the 9th inning. And what a 9 innings it was for Liam Hendriks.
Great play by Bernard Span. Bad play by Franklin Gutierrez. And he did a really nice job of getting around that ball so he could get all his momentum going to third. Trevor just barely nicks him before he gets to the bag. Liam Hendriks saying, yeah, I just completed 9 innings of pretty good pitching thanks to my center fielder. And I mentioned it's a terrible play by Gutierrez to make the third out at third base with Jaso coming up and a chance of driving a run. There's no reason to try to get to third base there unless you're absolutely sure you can make it. But the story for tonight, Liam Hendriks for the Twins just pitched a terrific ball game.
Mauer to lead off the 9th. Twins down a run against Felix Hernandez, and Mauer takes an off-speed pitch for a strike. Mauer on the night. A line drive caught by Robinson in the left field corner. Sharp single to center and a 2-hopper to second. Tapper up the right side. Ackley shovels. Mauer retired, one away.
We talked about how many guys that Felix Hernandez has struck out over the course of his career and over the course of this season. But what is just leaping out at us tonight is how many ground balls he's thrown. He's gotten guys hitting over the top of everything. And again, it's his stuff. It's the fastball that has just enough late movement to get underneath the bats just barely. The guys will get the big end of the bat to the ball, but hit over the top of it. And it's got to be 15 or 16 ground balls now.
16 ground ball outs, only 5 strikeouts. No quick trips to the mound. That means Carl Willis has been able to sit and watch the king.
The only quick trips to the mound have been Hernandez going out there for the start of the inning.
And Willingham taps it foul, 1-1. Willingham has reached a couple of times, but he's 0 for 1.
Pretty good swing at that ball right there. I think Josh thinks pitcher got away with one there. He almost got to that one. It was just enough over the plate. Josh had a pretty good swing at it.
Fastball down the middle, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Felix didn't like the way that Josh went at that breaking ball either, so he came back with a fastball on the outside part of the plate.
1 and 2. Baltimore beats Chicago 4-3. Pulled toward the hole. Ryan throws, and Willingham's aboard with an infield hit. Twins have Casilla and Mastroianni, options perhaps for the Twins to pinch run for Willingham here, and here comes Mastroianni. Willingham gets an infield hit. He's reached 3 times tonight against Felix Hernandez. And now Morneau, who led off the 7th with a triple off the fence in right center field. And then Hernandez went to work, retiring Domet, Plouffe, and Carroll on ground balls. Bounce to short. 6-4. 3, and Felix Hernandez shuts out the Twins, and the Mariners win the series opener 1-0. And the hard luck loser is Liam Hendriks, and the Jimmy John's delivery of the game provided by Eric Thames, who took a pitch down and away, went with it, and a rare opposite field home run by a left-handed batter. Thames, the difference in the game, Anthony LaPanta, and the Twins really had problems again tonight against Felix Hernandez.
As has most of the league, his 5th shutout of the year, all of them coming in his last dozen starts. 1-0 Seattle. Will show you how he diced up the Minnesota lineup tonight. We'll hear from Gardy in preview game 2 next on Twins Live.